Good Thursday morning, everyone. This is Mitch. Hope you guys are having a great start to your Thursday. We're almost to the weekend, but we got a couple more days to go and then we will be there. I want to talk about the weather specifically for today, and we will do so as we're kind of in these quieter stretches in between more active stretches, and I think we'll be pretty quiet as far as any kind of major storm system or severe weather outbreak, major winter storm or anything like that. I think the weather will start to mellow down for at least a few days going forward. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about the weather forecast specifically for each day in the mornings and continue to do that kind of pattern and setup. So if you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. It goes a long way, especially when things kind of slow down. The growth really slows down. So I really appreciate people who just keep tuning in regardless. It means a whole lot. It takes a lot of work doing these 2-a-day videos. So I appreciate people who respond by watching and tuning in and showing the support. So hit me up on social media. It's a great way to just interact with what I do daily and to talk with me. I try to, if you got a question, I try to answer it as quickly as possible. So thank y'all for interacting with me there. If you guys got anything I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. Please, guys, if it's unspoken, just put unspoken. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it and gives others an opportunity to do so too. We can all look out for one another and glorify God doing it. So really, let's get going. I also want to mention thank you again. Thank you for all the support with storm chasing over the last 48 hours. I didn't do much chasing yesterday. There really just wasn't a whole lot to chase. I was wore out and tired too, so it was hard to leave my house, especially when I saw my kids. I really missed them, just like I always do when I leave for a day or two. But thank y'all for the donations. Some people donated, and it went a long way, especially with expensive gas is. And y'all are just supporting someone who has a passion. I don't have to go storm chase, but you guys are supporting the love of what I do. So thank y'all. So today, we're dealing with day 4 of this storm system, but this will be the less severe as far as storms type of day, if that makes any sense. Marginal risk is up, including areas of southern areas of the Delmarva area, southeast Virginia, eastern North Carolina, a very small section of far eastern South Carolina, and basically the entire north central areas of the peninsula of Florida. There will be a small risk of a tornado today, very small, 2% risk, and then a wind threat and basically no hail threat. The dynamics really aren't there for any hail. And this system is moving on out. There's rain falling in these areas already, but if you get any kind of daytime heating, I think there will be some storms, maybe a severe thunderstorm warning, maybe a tornado warning or two. So be careful out and about today in these regions. I'm talking about Richmond, Virginia, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Wilmington, North Carolina, Myrtle Beach, potentially some severe weather is definitely possible here. Going forward here, we'll look at the water vapor loop, and you can see what's going on as basically our cold front has stalled out. A cold front acts as a boundary, so low pressure scoot along it. It's kind of a jet stream dig, right? It's a subtropical jet, so it digs, and when it stalls out, it allows for moisture to continue to overrun over these areas. So that's why, things have trended a little bit more rainier today for portions of the Carolinas, southeast Virginia, is because over the last couple days, trends have been for this front to slow down, and it has. It's still moving somewhat, but it's slowed down. So the front's draped across here. Therefore, moisture is continuing to override these areas. So a very rainy day across the coastal regions of the Carolinas and southeast Virginia and southeast Georgia and portions of Florida for sure. And we'll look at this. We'll look at the latest HRRR model going. We'll start this around 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Storms continue to fire up and really ride along here, the southeast Virginia, southern areas of Delaware, Maryland, and will continue to do so. Even into southern New England, we'll have some heavy rain today, Boston, and this rain continues to scoot by. And notice it has more of just a southwest and northeast movement to it. It's not really moving very much east at all. In fact, it almost is moving a little bit north. And it actually gets close to making it to areas of central North Carolina, central South Carolina again today. That just tells you that how slow this cold front's moving, if it's even moving at all at times. But rain showers continue for the eastern Carolinas, southeast Georgia. There's all the places I just mentioned. And as we're getting into the evening hours, they will begin to slowly clear, but not before another area low pressure tries to throw a more expansive area of moisture back into these regions. So therefore, it's cold enough still for areas of Maine, northern Maine, for this to become a winter weather event. So if you're up there near Caribou, northern sections of Maine, I think overnight tonight you will see some more winter weather. Well, winter hangs on for a pretty long time up that way. So, you can get into April and still have winter storms. It's not uncommon at all. So as far as temperatures, You can tell where this upper trough is dug. Therefore, you're going to be pretty nippy across Missouri, Indiana, especially western sections of the Ohio Valley, the Midwest, the Great Lakes region. It's not going to be bitterly cold, but it's going to be pretty cold for March 24th standards. It's going to be below average. Temperatures only in the 40s and 30s. And, it's probably going to be due to a little bit of moisture. And I didn't mention that here, but you're going to have some moisture with this clipper that's going to kind of be digging through here as basically the storm track sets up from northwest to southeast here. And we'll talk a little bit more on that tonight. We talked a little bit on it last night as far as this weird pattern setting up where you're basically going to have kind of a digging of the trough, just digging through here. Therefore, systems are going to kind of go down the path of the jet stream. Therefore, you're going to have some overrunning that occurs, and you're going to have some systems that try to follow that boundary. And here comes the first one, moving in overnight into portions of Michigan, Wisconsin, and it's going to be cold enough up there for a little bit of snow, but you're going to have showery weather across areas. But we're already getting into Friday, so we need to get off Friday here. But it's still going to be pretty warm across the southeast, still kind of humid. As southern areas of Florida is going to be very warm. You're going to feel like summer. And then the south central U.S. is already starting to warm up. But once you get into Tennessee, Arkansas, points north, Kentucky, it's a cool day today. Definitely not warm. But we look out west, what's going on? A pretty quiet day out west. So some little bit of snow showers and rain showers depending on elevation of Montana and Wyoming. But other than that, pretty quiet. It really is. And you look at temperatures for areas out west. The thing is you have a big time tall ridge starting to scoot off the west coast. Will scoot on into the west coast. And you have troughing setting up over the east. That's why it's going to be a cool weekend. But as ridging sets up over the western U.S., you're going to be well above average. I'm talking about the valleys, the valley of California reaching close to the upper 80s to 90 degrees. And even if you get into the Pacific Northwest, the valleys are very warm, well into the 60s, maybe 70s in certain areas. And then the Southwest in general, the desert regions, starting to get rather warm. So very nice day if you like warm weather across basically the Southwest and the Western U.S. in general. And, even the Front Range, Denver getting pretty warm today, probably pushing 60, low 60s, and just warm weather in general. So nice weather expected. And that's because of this ridge that is starting to move over the West Coast, troughing in the east. We'll see how much of a dig of this trough happens. But as you keep going here, a more substantial trough dig, a cold front is what I'm meaning when I say trough dig, starts to move over for the weekend. So I do think it's going to be above average temperature-wise for the weekend for the western U.S. and below average temperature-wise for the eastern U.S. But I don't see any, substantial differences compared to average on both ends of the country. But it's just a pattern flip. We'll try to see what happens because of this. But I do think this is going to bring some snow for portions of the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. A snowstorm? No. But I do think it's going to have some flakes flying around with it, so I have to watch to see what happens here. But the pattern becomes a little bit more aggressive, more vigorous as we're moving into early next week. A severe weather threat is possible. The National Weather Service still is not really mentioning it. It's just saying predictability too low. So we'll continue to figure out what's going to happen going forward today. Relatively quiet compared to what it's been the last several days. But God bless everybody. Y'all have a great Thursday, and I'll talk to y'all this evening.